Soul Plans and Soul Agreements. This is Wendy Reese with Whole Being Inc. What is a soul plan? See, I believe that we are all a piece of the Creator, God, Great Spirit, Source, the Divine, whatever you want to call it. As a piece of that, we are all divine, infinite beings who want to experience something outside of infinite. We want to experience the contraction or the shadows. What better way than to become human and play in an illusion that we co-create in order to return to our essence as light and love, as divine and infinite. Back when we were just energetic beings, we made a plan for that experience. That's what I'm calling a soul plan. What is a soul agreement? These are agreements to fulfill the way you wanted to experience the totality of divinity, shadow and light, expansion and contraction. Divine play. Shaivite Tantrism calls this experience of coming into a human form divine play. See, Shiva and Shakti, the divine masculine and feminine, incarnated as human. They created mayas or illusions. They believed them. They contracted into them, and then they had to figure out how to return to being infinite again. I personally believe this is why we're here, to fulfill these contracts, to play and grow, and to experience the totality of the divine. So all these shadows, all these limitations, all these challenges, all the pain and sadness and frustration that we experience in human form is just a game, albeit a difficult game at times. Everyone is playing this game, helping one another by helping with the contraction or the expansion. Those are agreements that we made. There are 4 common agreements. All lead to the same place, to play in the shadows and light, to contract into limitations, and return to your divinity and connection to Source. The first agreement is about playing in the shadow and light with an agreement to help remember the divine light within. These often are seen in families and close friendships where there is both love and challenge, with a distinct story around being able to become the best version of yourself. These tend to be the ones we have the most challenge with because we know the divinity of that person we are in the contract with, and when they act out of alignment with that, play in the shadows or get caught up in the illusion that they are in lack, not enough, fear, doubt, etc., we want to show them their light. If they can't or don't want to see it for whatever reason, it can be confusing or absolutely frustrating and painful. I have found that through doing my own work, it gives permission, freedom, and inspiration for the person to do their work if they choose. And when that happens, you've honored the contract you have together. Now, while I describe that agreement as if you were the one reminding the other of their divinity, this can just as easily work the other way around and always does. You're playing in the shadows and they're painfully watching, loving you anyway. And sometimes you're both playing in the shadows and neither of you are reminding the other of each other's light. I see this first contract most often in close family members, friends, and some romantic relationships. When the individuals in the relationships are balanced and healthy, the relationship reflects that. When one or both are playing in the shadow, the push and pull begins. There is friction and it's often difficult. You love the person, they love you, and yet there's just some things they do that drive you nuts. Sometimes you can see past that and love them anyway. In those moments, there is a remembrance, and it's often grace-filled. The second agreement is one person agrees to show up and only play in the shadows. They provide those deeply painful opportunities to be a victim and return to love after loss. I wish I knew I hadn't played this role, but I have. You have too. We do it for a reason, though. On the extreme end, these are the acts of violence, abuse, and most challenging relationships. You may never even meet the person who is in this agreement with you, but they somehow impact your life so negatively that you have to stretch beyond human capacity in order to forgive them, if you even can. For example, somebody who is raped by a stranger. On the more subtle end, it could be a coworker, an extended family member, your significant other's family members, or a friend, and it's hard to love them. They're just a big asshole. You know what I'm talking about. They push every button within you. They trigger you. There is just nothing positive that you can see about this person. It's really, really hard to see past their actions and recognize their divinity. Those are all examples of that second agreement. The third agreement is when one person only agrees to play in the light and help you see your own divinity. You've had teachers, mentors, wise friends like this. They don't hurt you. They don't play in the drama. They simply listen, love, and guide you. They see your highest self and they hold space for you to step into that. They believe in you when you can't believe in yourself. I think this is part of my purpose in life, and I love when I get to do this with students and clients, friends and loved ones. I bet you do too. I bet you've played here plenty of times. Just look back on your life. I bet you'll see some examples. The fourth agreement is neutral. It could be the asshole in traffic or the really nice person who smiles and holds the door open for you when you're having a crappy day. It could be a stranger you witness do something thoughtful or someone who gets you up on your soapbox. You may never actually meet them. I kind of think of them as extras on a cast of a movie set. You don't know them, but they definitely either contract you or help make you more expansive. So what? Now what? In my life, I can see where I've played out all four contracts, in some cases much to my dismay. The thing is, these contracts are designed to help us return to our own divinity. If you're here listening to me, you've probably had a defining moment when you've held back your light, played small in order to be accepted, feel loved, or safe. In other words, you did it out of a survival place. That's the moment of separation from our source. That's the moment we go into the Maya. In your own human need to survive, you abandoned a piece of you. Then you spent ages looking for it outside of yourself, asking, what do I need to do to feel loved, to belong, to feel secure? You've sought that from outside sources, and it hasn't always worked. We have to be willing to be with that part of us who got stuck there, waiting for the divine to show up and settle up, if you know what I mean. What fear has hidden is still a part of you, even if you don't see it. For so long, we have viewed ourselves as separate from our truest self, our highest self, our own divinity in some capacity. Just like when you tear the house up looking for keys or glasses and the whole time you've had them on your body, the divine in you has always been there, even when you think you've lost it. In that perception of separation, we have to start to return home. And that's part of the soul journey. Are you ready to go deeper? Are you ready to take that journey? I invite you to check out wholebeinginc.com/you. This is an 8-week soul journey that incorporates the archetypes and chakras, giving us a very powerful tool to look at the agreements that we've been in, the way we show up in this lifetime, how we play, and how to shift in a more effective and efficient version of play. I'd love to have you come join me. And I also do one-on-one work with this too if you're not into the group thing. You're always welcome to email me, Wendy@wholebeinginc.com. Infinite love and gratitude. Till next time, be whole.